"Ma'am, you need to leave now. We don't let people like you just wander around these cars." That's what they told her, right there in the middle of the dealership, in front of salesmen, customers, security. Not because she touched something, not because she was being rude, but simply because of how she looked and who they assumed she was. They didn't even ask her name. They didn't ask if she had an appointment. They didn't know she had just pulled up in a black Mercedes SUV with custom rims and a full tank. They didn't care. They saw a black woman with a small boy and made a decision. But what they didn't know was this. That same dealership had been sold hours before. And the new owner? She wasn't just walking in, she was walking home. But what they didn't know was that this dealership had already been sold. The ink was dry, the documents stamped, and the woman they were throwing out wasn't a customer. She was the new owner. Before we go any further, tell me, where are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments, and if you believe in stories where the tables turn, where dignity wins, and where justice is finally served, subscribe now. Because here, we don't just tell stories, we reveal the truth. Her name was Emma Sterling, a 38-year-old entrepreneur, mother, and powerhouse in the logistics world. She had built her company from the ground up with nothing but a second-hand delivery van and a teenage babysitter. She had worked 20-hour days, slept in her warehouse office, missed birthdays and anniversaries, all to create a brand that finally broke into the big leagues. And now, after a decade of grit and rejection, she had signed an $11 million acquisition deal. A deal that included purchasing the very dealership that once denied her financing because of incomplete paperwork. It was poetic. It was calculated. It was hers. But instead of marching in with press and cameras, she wanted to walk in quietly, like any other customer. No entourage, no announcement. Just her and her son, just to see how they'd treat her, just to remind herself why she fought so hard to win. She drove her black Mercedes SUV through the lot and parked near the entrance. Her son wore his little backpack and bounced with excitement. "Are we really picking a new car today?" She smiled and nodded. He had no idea what today meant, but she wanted him to see the inside of power, to feel it, to believe it was possible. But that belief was shattered the moment she stepped through the glass doors. The receptionist gave her a blank stare. One salesman looked up and looked away. Another leaned in and whispered to his colleague, who smirked. And then came the footsteps behind them, slow, heavy, close, security, trailing them like they had already stolen something. Her son noticed first. His hand squeezed hers tighter. She told him it was fine, but her throat was already burning. She walked over to the SUV section. It took less than a minute before the manager appeared. No greeting, no smile, just a sneer and a voice dripping with disgust. "Ma'am, you're going to have to leave. These vehicles aren't for display. We don't let people just wander around." She calmly said she was here to browse. He didn't listen. He raised his voice. He waved his hand. Security moved in fast. And just like that, she was being pulled toward the door. Her son began to cry. "Don't touch my mommy!" But they didn't stop. They didn't pause. They didn't even hesitate. They had no idea they were humiliating the woman who now signed their paychecks. She left without saying a word, not because she couldn't speak, but because she was about to speak through action. 20 minutes later, 3 black luxury SUVs pulled into the lot. One of them parked right in the dealership's reserved, executive-only space. Out stepped 2 attorneys, a woman in a gray pantsuit, a black man in a tailored navy blazer, and then Emma. No hoodie now, no sneakers. She wore a fitted crimson blazer, gold earrings, and heels that clicked like thunder on marble. Her son held her hand again, not afraid now, but proud. A quiet smile on his face. The receptionist looked up, confused. The salesman from earlier dropped his phone. And the manager? He turned pale. He stuttered. I don't understand. But Emma didn't respond. She didn't look at him. The woman in the gray suit walked to the front desk, dropped a folder labeled Ownership Transfer, and said 12 words that turned the air ice cold. This dealership is now owned and operated by Miss Emma Sterling. Gasps. Silence. Stares. The guards who had touched her earlier? Gone. Hiding. The salesman? Speechless. The receptionist? Shaking. But Emma didn't bask in it. She didn't scream or gloat or demand apologies. She simply walked past them into the same SUV showroom where she had just been dragged from. Now, nobody followed her, nobody questioned her, nobody dared breathe too loudly. She took her time. She pointed at 2 cars. She handed the keys to her lawyers. Remove them from the floor. I'm donating them to single mothers in the community. Her son clapped. Can we get the red one? She smiled. We're getting everything. Outside, a crew peeled off the dealership's old name from the glass doors. And in its place, Sterling Motors. Black-owned, woman-led, open to all. News trucks showed up within hours. Someone had already uploaded the confrontation footage. It went viral. Tens of thousands of views. Black mom dragged from dealership, then buys it. Headlines followed. Customers poured in. Support flooded her inbox. CEOs called to congratulate her. But Emma didn't care about the spotlight. She cared about the lesson. She made sure every employee who mocked, ignored, or insulted her went through mandatory anti-discrimination and customer equity training. Some resigned. Most stayed. And learned. And never forgot the day they almost lost everything because they couldn't see beyond skin. Emma built a dealership culture where respect came first, where every mother felt welcome, where no one was followed, judged, or spoken down to, where people were seen as people, not suspects. And she did it all without saying a single angry word. Because some victories don't come from shouting. Some come from rising so high they have to look up to you. The same floor that dragged her feet now echoed with her heels. The same people who laughed at her name now had to call her boss. And her son? He never forgot what power looked like. If this story made your heart pound, then don't miss what happened when a black nurse was denied a seat in first class, and a billionaire canceled a $300 million jet deal because of it. That one? It shocked an entire industry. Watch it next. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. Because here, we tell the stories they never expected to go viral.